Hey, yo, 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 and away we go again. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Stream 2 today. Your regularly scheduled AEW Dynamite Sidecast here on the Mike the Ref Twitch channel. It is great to see you all here today. And I gotta figure out how to get Wisebot off that little descriptor again. I haven't been able to haven't seen that in a while, so. But either way, welcome. Good to see you all here. Whether you're seeing live, whether you're seeing it on demand, whether you're watching it on the YouTubes, on the Backbreaker Video YouTube page, it is always appreciated to have you here. And tonight is going to be a very interesting night for AEW, as it is the go-home Dynamite to Forbidden Door. Yet 3 of your biggest players are not going to be here tonight. It has been confirmed that the Elite are only doing a pre-tape video that'll be up for tonight. So because it's in Chicago and it's you're sort of going to wreck the narrative of exactly what they're trying to put over here by doing anything in Chicago right now, because, well, frankly, the Elite are completely crapped on in Chicago no matter what they try to do, because they are clearly anti-punk. Well, at least it appears that way in front of our eyes. So it's going to be interesting to see what comes up here. I just pulled up the card here before we got going. It's still going to be a very interesting show regardless. One of the more, Tony Khan thinks we're more nostalgic than what we probably are. You're looking at Jeff Jarrett versus Mark Briscoe in a, I want to get the name exactly right here. Oh, a concession stand brawl. So basically they get to fight all over the building. Now, this is the anniversary of when the first concession stand brawl happened, and I'm sure we're going to get more details about that during the show. I just don't think a lot of fans care about the history of concession stand brawls. Maybe it's just me. But on top of that, we're going to get the battle of the brother teams in AEW with the Hardys and the Guns going at it. It's interesting to see that the Guns didn't mention anything, and they basically they blocked out Lexi when she was asking about this information last week, asking why they helped out the Bullet Club, which, let's face it, Bullet and Guns goes absolutely perfect, and it should. It should be an absolutely fantastic point there, but I don't know. It confuses the heck out of me sometimes, and it makes me... I get real excited sometimes about seeing some of this stuff. But speaking of being excited, we get to see Katsuyori Shibata on our Dynamite TV screens tonight as he teams up with Orange Cassidy to take on Daniel Garcia and Zack Sabre Jr. So we get champions on each side of the box facing each other in what they're probably gonna... I'm assuming that they're gonna set up these two feuds intertwining tonight for Sunday. Here's the scary thing about Forbidden Door. There's 4 matches announced as of now. They're gonna have to get their butts in gear tonight and it out in a bunch. Not just because myself and Andre C are recording a preview show here coming up on Friday. Or coming up tomorrow, sorry, and it's coming out on Saturday. Dr. Audio, good to see you here tonight. It is Dynamite indeed. I will say this. I'm expecting a lot out of that card, and I'm expecting a lot out of that match. I expect 2 matches to get signed just solely based out of that match. With, we'll probably end up getting Shibata and Garcia and Cassidy and Zack Sabre Jr. Depends on what kind of titles they want to put where. That's the only thing that confuses me on how they're going to set that up. And as you can see here, I am wearing my brand new, literally got it yesterday, Kris Statlander t-shirt. I am I saw it. I had to get it. I'm a sucker for comic book t-shirts. And tonight we got Statlander defending her TBS championship against Taya Valkyrie, and one of the low-key feuds that's really ramped up here in the last few weeks here. So good that we're getting a different match than the usual Outcast versus Hero storyline here, which we've been having for the last few weeks. It's nice to get a little change of pace here. I don't know if we're going to get a women's match for Forbidden Door. I really don't. It sucks to sound that way, but hopefully there's some way that TK can fix this, but I don't even know if he wants to. But that's a story we've been going on for a good 6-9 months about already. So, well, hell, what am I talking about? Let's go 3 years. Said he wanted to be revolutionary, and it sure as hell doesn't feel like it at this point. But something that has been revolutionary is the fact that, do we want to call it Jericho Goon, is teaming up once again. Maybe a run-in tonight. I'm hoping we get a run-in or something to make sense of all this. But we're going to get Chris Jericho, Sammy Guevarra, Minuro Suzuki taking on Action Andretti, Darius Martin, because Dante's out injured, and AR Fox in trios action. So if that ends up being the main event, I got a feeling that Jericho and Guevara are going to do the Splitsville on this show. Because I can't see it not happening at this point. And the fact that Minuro is around, we get the old Kazi Ninare. Hopefully they don't screw it up this time. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how they put all this together. And I want to see basically my goal here tonight is to see what matches they're going to come up with for Forbidden Door. Like, this should be where you set up 7, 8, 9 matches for Forbidden Door. Well, at least 5, because we got to get it at least to a 7-match card. I'm assuming that it's a TK card. We're probably going to end up with about 9 matches, as we are getting to under 2 minutes away from Dynamite here. Just want to say thank you guys for stopping in. But also we're going to hear from Adam Cole, who's probably going to tell off MJF, even though MJF he doesn't even know if he's showing up for the show on Kingston, who came out to save the Elite against the BCC. And we're also going to get Bryan Danielson calling out Kazuchika Okada. So I don't know whether we're going to get an Okada appearance tonight, or or is he just going to try and call him out and he's not going to he's just going to give out warnings and all that stuff. But yeah, when it comes to Forbidden Door, I'm a little worried. I'm like, the number of matches that they have set up already is just minimal, to say the least. I was going to say the best, but not the best. I'm like, don't get me wrong. I could watch Danielson and Okada go for 90 minutes and still tell a hell of a story with it. But at the same time, I want something else in my wrestling here. Like, Sonata and Jungle Boy is not going to do it for me. Like, I said it last week. I'll say it now. Jungle Boy is starting to get the Roman Reigns treatment to me. And I'm not talking about Roman Reigns now. I'm talking about Roman Reigns circa 2015 Royal Rumble. That you will cheer for this person. You will make sure that this guy gets over. No, we freaking won't. I will say that. We're definitely not good. Like, I get Jungle Boy's music's over. I don't think Jungle Boy's over. And then Tanahashi taking on MJF if MJF shows up. there's rumors right now that there's a possibility if MJF doesn't show up that we get Punk Tanahashi, which was the match that was scheduled for last year. Which sort of could pull out the I'm here to I'm actually showing up to work, not compared to you who picks and chooses when he wants to come in. But I honestly feel that they're going to make Punk a heel. They got to make Punk a heel somehow here. They skipped the opening? We're already in it. So I'm hoping that means that things are going to be a little jam-packed here tonight. All right, we're going with the Brotherly Love match here tonight first. The other thing I wanted to bring up, how many of you in the chats, oh, I love it. Do you notice that they're starting to put the Fight Forever characters on the side screens? Getting ready for next week? I would love to see them do that for WWE 2K23, but it'll never happen. If you didn't see the announcements today, it was the character reveals that they had were CM Punk, Miro, and Anna Jay were the 3 character announcements. But I think the biggest news coming out for today was they actually showed footage of the exploding barbed wire match. Because they literally showed that both people will die at the end of 30 minutes if you don't get the win. These guys are so annoying. And I do appreciate the fact, I don't know, maybe you guys have a different idea than me about it, but I do appreciate that they are trying to get over on their own without their dad. Like, let's not kid ourselves. The reason you got into it was because of Billy. Because I don't think anybody in AEW gets shoved in here real quick. For as little as they've trained and whatnot. And they've literally, before I forget, if you guys checked out my Twitter, I sent out a retweet about an hour before the show. Or it was about half hour before the show. I was reloading some materials here. The Guns actually are still sending out those notices saying, fans, please do not call us ass boys as we're going along here. Shot right in the ass. Oh, and we got the draw for the blind eliminator tournament. Okay. Dr. Wario, for the mere fact that I have to clear that word through Twitch chat to be allowed in here is a simple fact that there's a reason why they don't get called that professionally. I agree with you. It's a better name. Like it should work a lot better, but hey, Jeff's ankle's not hurting again. I really wonder in that last match if it was a kayfabe injury or a real one. Do you ever think Daddy Ass will ever turn heel and rejoin the Guns? If so, how long? My opinion, I don't know whether you'll actually get it. The only way I could see it is if maybe, like, right now the storyline with Billy Gunn is the fact that they're trying to get Billy a title in 2023. It's the exact same storyline as Jungle Boy, by the way, which I talked about earlier. But at the same time, I got a feeling that Billy might come out. It's either going to be they're trying to hype it up and say that it's going to be the trios title that they're going after. I really feel that, you could get a TNT onto Billy with the fact that that title's been hot potatoed more than, I was going to say passed around more than certain people, but that's a different ball of wax altogether here. I'll just leave that there for that. And for the record, if you're wondering what I'm talking about, it's 19 for 82 right now. Title changes versus title defenses. Out of 82 matches, 19 of them have resulted in title changes for the TNT Championship. Put that in your pipe and smoke it and think of what that title means right now. But going back to the original question here, I do feel that, that's like WCW Championship in 2000 kinds of a lot. Like that title got changed 23 times in a year. But, I got to feel like Billy's going to end up getting that title, and then when he gets screwed out of it, that's when he'll proverbially turn heel again. I don't think there's a need for it right now. Simple as that. There's just... The gimmick's too white hot right now. I understand you try to change things before they go stale, but at the same time, don't kill it when it's red hot right now. And I think that's pretty much what everybody was saying with Cody Rhodes. Like the Cody Rhodes Roman Reigns situation there, right? 23 times in a year, that's almost every two. Yeah, absolutely. It would change 2 times in a show. A title would get stripped at the beginning of the show and then be sent out the next year. Yeah, I believe Steven Larson, either Steven Larson or Brian Zane, one of the two, did a full video on the WCW 2000 deal. But some of it was due to injury. Some of it was due to people leaving. Like, hell, this is the same company that didn't even realize that their hardcore champion left and was part of the Royal Rumble and one day after winning the title in Ming/Haku. Like, if you guys remember that Royal Rumble 2001, what many people consider the greatest Royal Rumble ever. Yeah, I figured you would remember that, Dr. Wario. But yeah, that was a crazy time where, theoretically, if they wanted to, they could have had Haku come out with all right, that was different. Not going to say better, I'm just going to say different. Come on, double block. That's typical. I know there was Arquette and Russo reigns, but in my mind, for the last couple of years, WCW was either Steiner, Jarrett, or Booker T. Quite, oh, here we go. All right. We're bringing this story back. I love it. I love it. I love it. The Guns were not saying a word about it, but all right. I will take this. By the way, good to see you, Ophelia. Good to see you, Jagger, tonight. It looks like we might actually get that team up that we were talking about. All right, who comes to make the save? There's got to be somebody out of New Japan that makes a save. So we'll make up an 8-man for the show. Like, they got some heavy lifting to do here to get the show made up here. Or do they even bother? Or with the ring. Okay. The rock art. Oh. The bag of quarters in his hand. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Oh, we got another roll quarters. Oh, here comes Ricky. Well, it's still 4-on-3. Who's going to be the fourth one here? I'm sure you got to put a name up on the Tron on this one. All right, here comes FTR. So, this whole, I guess we're not having Dynamite and so who else is coming out? Oh yeah, the music. Just wait for it. Here comes Phil. I know they were setting up Phil and Juice. They were talking about Punk and Juice being the makeshift. You're still smoking cigarettes after today's Nintendo Direct? I will give you a coin for that. I love how Punk just will not give up. Oh, that new Mario game. I am looking forward to that. I still got to play Mario Odyssey yet. I still haven't got to that one yet. I'm still so far behind, like Breath of the Wild. I'm way far behind. I haven't got the Tears of the Kingdom. Pikmin game was decent. Not that I'm ever going to play a Pikmin game because Lemmings has sort of traumatized me from that. Mario Elephant is thick. So are we going to have this 4 against those 4? Okay, that's the Toronto Collision match. Star Ocean, Mario RPG, Final Fantasy 1-6, Suikoden 2, Chrono Trigger possibly. Let's put it this way. I will definitely say this, Darth Mick. By the way, good to see you as well. If you're a video game fan, I do not want to hear any of you or about not having enough to play. If you can't find enough to play, you are just too picky. Star Ocean was my first PS1 game after my beloved Saturn was killed off. The remake looks amazing, by the way. Hit pray Saturn, pray Saturn, pray Saturn. There's more Game of the Years this year than there's been in the last 10. Let's put it this way. You cannot argue about the fact that there's not enough games for you. That's straight up. I like Punk's answer there. 4-on-1. I like those odds. 4-on-4. It's your funeral. It's a good way to put it. So I'm glad that they're actually giving a little bit of a segment here. We'll get back to the... Uh, I love the fact that Aubrey was involved in this feud. So they actually start fighting at the concession. Fight Forever will be the first game you bought since Breath of the Wild. Oh. It no longer looks like Zelda. Here's something that a lot of people forget. Why are they have the laserite? The Chicago dog. That's not a real concession stand. That's only hot dogs and popcorn. And I hope CM Punk's getting credits here for the Pepsi crates. Get the frick out of there, you AEW bandana fan. Ugh. There you go, merch stand. That's what you need, a good old merch stand. People forget that Mario 1 was open world. Or not Mario 1, Zelda 1 was open world. Because to get to all those castles and that, or the dungeons. Oh, there goes that table. You notice how there's the one trash can that's built like that and the rest of them are like solid ones? All right, somebody's getting covered. Yeah, there it is. Fine with open world, that it's the ongoing build a bunch of dumb looking things. That's fair. Hence the Fortnite comparison. I wouldn't go that far. Me ruining the illusion that all trash cans are equal? Don't ask my opinion about Christmas. And the person that comes to drop off gifts, then I might hurt some children. Good old Jarrett. Karen Jarrett with the hot sauce. Zelda 2 is better. Open world with great sides going dungeon. Now we just need Aubrey out here to get rid of Karen. That's like $500 in hot dogs. That'll be fear. You know what? It's a shout out to the hot dogs. It's a hot dog match. That's Jay Lethal. Oh no, that's Sanjay. Never mind. Oh my. This isn't wild. This is just, ugh. Some spots that just drive me nuts here as we go along here. Zelda 2 is better. You know, the only reason I'm going to give you even a chance to say that that's right is the mere fact that I hate open world games personally. That's why I'm having a little bit of a tough time with Breath of the Wild. It's still fun to play. But it's the fact that I like to be told, you go here, you go here. Opinions are subjective. It's okay to be wrong too. I will give you that. This just reminds me of the time that Jeff Jarrett showed up at GCW. Like, he almost seemed like he was forced to win, but it completely didn't look like he needed to be there. I'm a huge fan of Super Mario Brothers 2, even though I thought it technically is not a Mario game. Yeah, technically, well, it depends what part of the world you live in, right? Because, you know, Doki Doki Panic in Japan, I love the fact that the reason is the Japanese thought it was going to be too tough for us to handle their Mario 2. And after you actually play Lost Levels, you understand that they were right. But yeah, it's a little crazy. It's you see Mark trying to nail down Jarrett right now. There's a lot of games that people, a lot of series that a lot of people didn't like that I like. For me, I was a fan of Bayonetta 3. A lot of people didn't like how the ending ended, but I really enjoyed that game. Like when we played on stream, I enjoyed it enough that I wanted to end up playing Bayonetta 1. Which I honestly felt was a little bit too much of a slog for me personally, Bayonetta 1. We got through it, but it took a 9-hour stream at the end to finish it. But everybody's got their own versions of stuff that just doesn't work together. But here's what I don't like about Jeff Jarrett matches. Like, we knew it was a concession stand brawl. We knew it was going to be one of those stupid, it's going to be like a 16-on-1 beatdown kind of deal. Well, somebody's coming because the cameraman decided to run all the way up to the stage. Well, you can tell the crowd's firmly behind Briscoe here, that's for sure. I love the one guy in the corner. He's like, no, I ain't moving. And I know exactly why now. Old man Briscoe. Old man Briscoe just put... Like I said, there's some crazy stuff going on. It's like... Old man Briscoe is like 90th level boss or something. Can this feud just end, please? I know, it's like... Finally, somebody who sells a low blow like they should. Choke slam! Choke slam! Choke slam! That Kung Pao Kung Fu. All right, Jay Driller, and hopefully this will end it. All right, Sat. Oh, God. Here comes Satnam. My God, I hate those choke slams like that. Christopher Daniels. Seriously. That's who they brought out? Like, don't get me wrong, I love the Fallen Angel, but... Four-way super kick, that'll take the starch out of you. Is it just me, or does this feel like basically WWE 24/7 crap? Maybe we'll go that too. That does have a little bit of an ECW vibe to it. I love how Penta's wearing Giorgio Armani tonight. It's not to that level, you think, yet? I'm still thinking 24/7. You just got random guys showing up here and... Like, where the hell did Daniels come from? Is there something I missed here? The last time I saw Christopher Daniels in action, he was in Defy defending that championship against Nick Wayne. But other than that, I haven't seen Daniels on my TV. And like the last time I think I actually saw him wrestle a match on TV, it was part of the Gamescom conference in Germany when they were across, right? Feels like we don't know what to do with everyone, so let screen time, so just go out there and hit somebody. It's like a reverse. Dude, do we need to bring up the reverse Royal Rumble? Jagger, that brings back some bad memories to a lot of fans. Yes, it was amazing. Brought in a new sound just for you, for that one. Ten-man tag just announced. Hey Mel, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. We just got announced a 10-man tag. The Elite versus the BCC with Takeshita and Shuto Umino. Is Danielson pulled? No. It's going to be Claudio, Yuta, Moxley, Umino, and Takeshita will be the 5-man. Oh, Moxley's face is priceless. But yeah, hope you're doing well, Mel. I hope Forbidden Door is the one night a year where actually you might. And was a reverse battle royal a thing? Reverse Battle Royal, yes. Reverse Royal Rumble, no. That would not make any sense. On that Shota Umino, looks like a 20-year-old Tanahashi. Yeah, fair enough. But we're getting, for those that don't know, what we're getting for Forbidden Door so far, and Andre and myself will be covering it in our pre-show on Saturday. We're hopefully recording tomorrow, as long as we got enough matches to talk about. We're going to get Tanahashi versus MJF for the AEW World Championship. We're going to get Sonata versus Jungle Boy for the IWGP World Championship. All right. We got Bryan Danielson and Kazuchika Okada. It looks like we're going to get Claudio Castagnoli, Wheeler Yuta, John Moxley, Konosuke Takeshita, and Shota Umino versus the Elite of some version, which I'm assuming is the Bucks, Omega, Page, and me. Sonata is a hard one. He had more charisma in LIJ than he has in Just Five Guys. Yeah, like... And here's the other thing on the AEW side of this, Mel. Jungle Boy is really starting to get the Roman Reigns 2015 vibes, where he's basically being told he is going to be one of our pillars. He is going to be one of the stars you are going to cheer for. They might be pulling a bit of a turn because in the corner of Jungle Boy is Hook, and Hook's a little unimpressed because Jungle Boy said that he needs a championship by the end of the year. Sort of like what we were talking about earlier with Billy Gunn and with the Acclaimed and whatnot. They had the same sort of storyline here. But unless they start pulling the trigger, and I think turn Jungle Boy heel on this, and I'll talk about this more on the preview show, but if they don't turn him heel here soon, I'm gonna start having to pull out the soundbite for the Reigns theme as we hear Tarzan come out. Like, frankly, that's exactly what we're gonna have to have here. Damn, 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 damn. Which is weird because we have Moxley here, well, too, but I got a feeling sometime tonight we're gonna get. Does he start into AEW Cody Rhodes territory? That's tough because Cody was just there to. Cody didn't really force himself into many high level matches. He was mostly in the mid card level. They're forcing Jungle Boy into that top level. So now they're going to go through Collision highlights here as we go on. I really enjoyed the different set, the different look, the different commentary team with Kevin Kelly and Nigel McGuinness. Unfortunately, if you haven't heard, we're probably going to be losing Kevin Kelly for about a month as Kevin Kelly's going to be commentating the G1. So obviously he's not going to be able to do both, right? But in terms of the show last week, like that's where we got the different feel, which I enjoyed. You get the turn of Luchasaurus. Oh yes, Omega Ospreay, of course. The match that everybody's looking forward to. I almost take it for granted how good that match is going to be. So yeah, let's think about it here. If they're doing 5-on-5, they're not going to have Omega available for the 5-man team. So you got Hangman, you got the Bucks. You could bring in Eddie Kingston since he was there last week. It'd be weird because, he won't attack Moxley. All right, so we're not having Jericho turn on. Do they bring in Finley? That would be interesting. Just because we already have a Bullet Club faction in AEW. Do we bring a different one into a face faction there? Because let's face it, the Elite are never going to be heels here again. They were earlier, especially in this feud. They're not going to be faces. And you have Bullet Club Gold, who are clearly heels after that. We'll see what happens when they get to Chicago. NJPW has 2 bulk. Okay. I stand corrected. I don't know if the fans can understand that. The Collision crowd was hot for Punk, Andrade, and Miro. I wasn't in love with Punk's opening promo, but it was strange. I'm never a fan of all the extras. I am so happy they're giving Minuro his own entrance. I think that's sort of a guarantee for part of his booking. House of Torture Bullet Club, then there's Finley's Rebel Bullet Club. Okay. I heard House of Torture is a house of torture for our eyes. It sure is. Goody, you got one. Sorry, I'm not talking over Kazanirare. I did find it funny when he called others soft, even though he moans so much about Adam Page's. Yeah, like that's the biggest thing that gets me about this whole Punk situation is that he's whining and crying because somebody else made fun of him, yet he's going to sit there and make fun of everybody else. Never talk over Kazunina or Suzuki will come for you. Exactly. I did a big hair spurt guy once in a while. But there's a lot of subtle inferences in Punk's little promo last week that a lot of people don't realize. The biggest one that nobody's talking about is the fact that Kenta was rumored to be an opponent for CM Punk at Forbidden Door. And apparently Kenta said no because the bag wasn't going to be big enough. So Punk shows up with a red bag because he says he's got the bag right here that everybody wants. I guarantee you that was a shot at Kenta that nobody saw coming. So it's going to be interesting to see how long Sammy actually puts up with the Jericho shtick. Because, well, if you were around last week for the promo, it looks like they're setting up Guevara for a face turn. Be excited for Kenta versus Punk. Apparently, neither one of them want it right now. Mainly because Kenta doesn't want to lose because of all the real life animosity. And Punk it doesn't make sense for Punk's first singles match back to lose. Hey, Skull Chin. Good to see you, sir. Or ma'am. Pleasure. Welcome. Hope you're enjoying the evening. We're watching AEW Dynamite. Why? Oh my, Martin, why are you even accepting the thought of doing this? Kenta's also a champion right now. Would make sense for him to lose. Yeah, that makes sense, right? Like, nobody wants... I think Punk losing makes a ton of sense, yeah. I'm confused. Did they build up Sting and Darby versus Y2J and Guevara? They were trying to. And it also could be that... I think they're setting up that match in the future here, but the fact, whenever you get Suzuki show up, you use Suzuki. Murder Grandpa is not going to be around forever. Talks about ring rust as the catalyst start turning Punk more heel. Yeah, I get it. I really do get it. I get the whole, Punk should lose, but there's one big problem with that. Punk won't lose. Let's just call a spade here. Punk is not going to give that up. That pose is fantastic. We need greeting cards with that pose. The whole Suzuki Jericho pose like that. The true Les Sex Gods. Love Minuro Suzuki, but have you seen Suzu Suzuki? She's just as being joyful, but I really do got to catch more New Japan, more Stardom. I know I've loved your guys' work all over with your Stardom coverage, with the New Japan coverage. I'll be frankly honest, I just don't have time to keep up with everything in terms of actually watching the wrestling, so I'm glad to... Sorry, gotta mute TV. Don't want certain companies getting free audio advertisements on my dime here, so. But I wonder if they're going to pull anything out of this to go into whatever they're going to do on Sunday. Because, Shulchan, when you're talking about that Sting and Darby, like, it very well could be a position where Sting couldn't make it or Darby couldn't make it, one or the other. which could lead to having to have these other three members in here. But they could also be setting up to Sunday. Because I totally believe that Sting is going to be retiring at Wembley. I've still got that in my heart. That I don't want it to happen, but if it's going to happen, let it happen in front of 70, 80, 90,000 people that they're going to get at Wembley Stadium for All Out. Or sorry, All In. Welcome to the time of year. It's going to start next week. We are going to have a hell of a time deciphering between All Out and All In. Because they're having both shows a week apart, halfway across the world from each other. Even though they haven't announced the second one, it's all been confirmed, but everybody but Tony Khan. Or maybe they do the tag match in the future. They save Jericho versus Sting for All In. That could be the match they do at Wembley. I would love to see that match at Wembley. Now, here's one for you. Let me just throw this weird one out for you. Oh, you're attending All In. Attaboy. Attagirl, attaboy, both. So when do you see Jericho retiring? I would give it another. Oh, you're from Germany. Okay. Well, welcome. I'm from Canada here. We're actually going to have Dynamite in my town here in 2 weeks' time here. So, by the way, programming note, we will not be having our AEW Dynamite sidecast for the night that Dynamite's in Edmonton because, unfortunately, I will be in at the show. I might try to come on late after we're done just to give my thoughts about the show, but yes, we will. Big swerve, Sting versus Jericho, retirement match, Sting wins, mind's blown. Oh my God. Could you imagine? And Forbidden Door is also in yeah, well, how do I clarify this to make it, I want to explain this to people so that they understand why Forbidden Door in Canada isn't as big a deal to me as it is to a lot of people. Forbidden Door in Toronto might be the equivalent to if you considered St. Petersburg in the same country as whether it be Berlin or wherever you're from here in Germany. The amount of distance between here and there, it's 2 time zones away. So like when everybody talks about the infamous Hart Dungeon and they'd say, oh, it's Canada, they have to cheer them. No. Oh God. Minuro just said nope. I love this crowd. Canada equals Toronto. I knew I left this button here for a reason. I'm from Edmonton, which is approximately, well, it's 3 hours. Oh, I love that double cutter. It is Western Canada, which is about, I'd say we're about 14-hour drive away from the ocean here on the west side of Canada. Basically straight up from Montana in the States, if you're familiar with the U.S. at all. And we are a 3-hour drive from Calgary, Alberta, Canada, the home of the Hearts. And Landstorm. Oh. Andretti almost got his second win over Jericho. Could you imagine? Because Jericho's the guy that made Andretti and got him his job, so. Oh my God. Sting versus Hogan and all. Oh God. Sting submits Hogan with Deathlock after a match littered with interference from Honor Anderson, Ric Flair, Kevin Jagger.
No, 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 no. No, please. No.
Yeah, Shirley, it's a 34-hour drive to Toronto. I know we got a few people going to Forbidden Door from here. My God, do I love that suplex. Murder Grandpa with the sleeper for a second. Into the Gotch pile driver. I can tell you think, oh God, it gets worse the more I was reading. Yes. Is that your finisher? Okay. Hey, Zodiac, good to see you here. And yes, Jagger is definitely choosing chaos. I don't normally time out people for stuff like that, but you know. All right, that was unique. The Flying Nothing into the walls of Jericho. Oh, that's a Lion Tamer with the knee across the face. Suzuki with the ankle lock. Yeah, that's it. For you, it's 2:46 a.m. It is 6:46 p.m. here. So we're right in the middle of... This is like the perfect middle prime time here. So yeah, you guys get WWE Money in the Bank, perfect timing for you guys. Oh, Renee. Yeah, 7 p.m. So you guys get it based on the time we would normally get our pay-per-views. Ours start at 1 o'clock in the afternoon for that day. Money in the Bank is a recording to watch later. Yeah, I have to work that day. So I'll be in that boat as well. You're going to DM me all the spoilers? I'll get to spoilers here in a sec. Jericho's got... All right, Sting's coming out here now. Sting's the one guy that didn't leave. It's like Undertaker and Sting were the two people that never left. Could you imagine? I'm calling this right now. Great Muta comes out. Oh, I thought he was gonna... That audio guy cut it close. Well, Sting and Darby, so we might get to see who it is. And you get to hear Toy Schiavone have a coronary. Just for a record, I don't care about spoilers. I've been spoiled my entire career when it comes to, will it be revealed tonight? Might possibly. I still think it's going to be Great Muta on his retirement tour. DMB fake spoilers. Ha! How dare he cuss? And Jericho's got that, really? Are they going to hold it off? They're going to spoil. They're going to wait till Saturday to reveal it. They're going to wait till Saturday to admit. That's how you're going to sell the TV show on Saturday. That's funny. I enjoy chaos in my entertainment viewing. Last night I watched a 2008 snowboarding movie called Shred. I have that movie for some reason. I don't know why. Yeah, it's one more reason to watch Collision. They're trying to keep it up. Oh, so it's a lethal lottery tag. Okay. I love the fact they're not actually telling us anything. They're literally just going to sit here and just, well, we're just going to make up some names and we're just going to make up, oh, this is going to be insane. All right, so we're in a commercial break now out of the blue here. Yeah, it's one more reason to watch Collision on Saturday, which I'm looking forward to watching it. I'm looking forward to seeing it. I still don't know. Like, I'm at a point right now where I'm not gonna stream it, but I'll stream after maybe. I really see how I have to feel, how I'm gonna feel tomorrow. Because if you guys didn't know, and I'm gonna get my cheap plug in right now, I am streaming on Friday for at least 12 hours straight for the Canadian Red Cross here. We're raising funds to help with the wildfires here in Canada. I'm hoping to turn that little bar on the, I guess it would be the left-hand side over there. You can see there's a little bit of orange in there. I want to get that thing completely full here. So the goal is $1,000. I will be on here basically all day. I'm going to start between 9 and 10 o'clock. Is it Naito that teams at Sting? You know what? That's a question I'm going to leave for Andre, because I don't know New Japan well enough. It's definitely going to be a New Japan guy, guaranteed. Does Suzuki have a big enemy right now? I would think Naito would make the most sense. Maybe this is a spot where you throw Kenta in there. He was left off the Forbidden Door, has history with Jericho. Yeah, it's true. That whole Intercontinental Championship fight that they had in New Japan there, that whole storyline with that could make a lot of sense. And just to give you guys a heads up, what we're going to be playing on Friday, going to be starting off with Prince of Persia: Sands of Time for the GameCube. Just because Prince of Persia was just announced and everybody's saying Sands of Time was such a great game. I haven't played it. That's the one new game I'm going to play. They mentioned he made a lot of enemies or something. Yeah, he made a lot of enemies in a lot of companies. So hopefully there. We're not going to do Just Dance on this one. I think I've decided that the goal for our November ones are going to be the Just Dance streams, especially since Just Dance 2024 was announced for this August. But that's how we'll deal with later here. Going to start with Prince of Persia. Then we're going to play Zelda. Zelda we're playing tomorrow because never mind, the Elite's on. I'll plug my stuff later. Okay. So Eddie's going to announce the last person. So we're supposed to get separate time for Eddie here. It's scheduled tonight. So I'm hoping that they're not going to have two announcements of two mystery partners. I really hope that they're not doing that because I really hate. Are Eddie and Punk friends? I don't think so. Might be, but I'm thinking it's got to be somebody from New Japan. I would think it would have to be somebody from New Japan to be a part of that match. You got Akiyama? That very well could be. Forgive my naivety of the New Japan roster, but although they had their so in kayfabe they're not. Well, in kayfabe, Moxley and Kingston are best friends. So that got thrown out the door real quick. So now Adam Cole gets to take MJF to school once again on the mic. Like, I'm sorry, but last week's promo with MJF, it looked like the top kid in grade 6 decided that he was the top kid in junior high. And Adam Cole walked in and said, no. I think that's the best way to sum that up. Didn't Eddie fight with the BCC the last Blood Guts? Yeah. But he tried to pour gasoline on Danielson. I think we can get away from having Kingston as a member of the BCC. Trying to burn a man alive is sort of going to take that away, right? So Cole's probably tried to look for a rematch. So, okay, it is a lethal lottery for the tag tournament. So they are stealing an RCW gimmick. Oh, here we go. I really hope that MJF is actually, I hope he's primed up his chat skills, because God, last week he looked rough by the end of it. So we're an hour in right now. We got some pretty decent matches out of the way here. Hopefully they're going to give Statlander and Valkyrie a little bit of time tonight. Well, they are CM Punk fans. I love the fact that he still has his Pinnacle jacket, even though the Pinnacle's not been a thing forever.
But I'm better than you.
Whoa!
And you know it!
Jaeger! 13 months of Prime, thank you. Appreciate it. Is Stat and Taya the main event? No. The fact that Zack Sabre Jr. is on Dynamite, he'll be the main event. I would love to see Stat and Taya as the main, but they're going to have Orange. If Orange doesn't open, he closes, right? He just put you over, you dumb. Yeah. Grand opening, grand closing, absolutely. So, chat, I do have to ask something production-wise on the stream, just in case you want. If you guys are watching this, when that sub came up, did you guys get confetti on your screens as it came down? Or at least on the chat part of it? Because I've tried to set that up, and I just don't know if it's working properly or not. I knew I loved some things about this crowd. Ha! No. That's okay. There'll be other opportunities to check it. Not a big deal. Twitch has added some new features to their interaction with people, so I'm hoping that I can... They say Bulls hit. Oh. Ha! Oh, this is going to be fun. Oh, this is going to be fun. This is old school booking. Like Shulchan, I don't know how much you guys watch the old WCW. I know Dr. Wario's all over this. This is what they would do. Ha! I want MJF Jericho team type up. Ugh. Ha ha ha! This is hilarious. This, you know what? Having this team put together this is going to be absolutely fantastic. This is going to be amazing. The two best talkers, in my opinion, in the AEW roster on the same team who are supposed to be facing each other, but they're actually teammates. This is going to be fun. And I hope it's a point where... Was it Triple H and Stone Cold that teamed up when they were feuding for the title? No, the two-man power trip was... Okay. Kojima and Punk this Sunday. Hello. Okay, so we're going to get semifinals in Edmonton. Let's freaking go. Britt, Ruby, Anna, Billy Starks. Well, this is a very nice tournament. Maybe they're trying to raise the bar with this pairing. Oh my God. Jaeger! We're getting a Statlander main event tonight. Let's go. Okay. Statlander Valkyrie is our main event match. I'm pretty sure the main event segment is going to be a Danielson promo bringing out Okada. But I don't care. Our main event match is going to be Statlander and it's going to be Statlander Valkyrie. Let's go. Let's call it a win. I would play my goal horn, but I don't have it stored up on this computer yet. Women need to be elevated. Absolutely. We've been talking about this for months. This happened often in WWE. Cena Miz, Cena Batista, Cena HBK, Cena Mysterio, Cena Michaels, Cena Triple H, Cena Edge. You see the correlation I'm getting here? You know, I think we got something repeated here. Rollins Strowman, yeah, like It is a trope, but it's a very good trope. If you can have two people that are on the same level. It's so amazing to see Shibata in the ring again after his neck injury. Like, Willow versus Nyla Rose. Can Willow hit the pow on Nyla? I guess we're going to have to find out. So, they did mention that a lot of these Owen Hart tournament matches for the women are going to be on Dynamite. This might be a very smart way to keep the Outcasts and Hater Baker storyline off TV for a good couple months. Well, at least a good couple weeks. We get Zack Sabre Jr. right now. Like, I honestly thought Sabre Jr. would be the main event. The big TV championship. See, I really appreciate the title that they got, and I understand why they couldn't put the rabbit ears on it. I would love to see them do that. Just, it's what it looks like to me. It looks like a big TV. Or at least an old school TV. Reminds you of a credit card? You know what? To me, as long as, it also depends, like, how he's carrying it. Like, I don't think anybody's going to argue with Zack Sabre Jr. as a TV champion. Oh, so Garcia didn't want to face Shibata to start. Should be a TV sitting on a VCR and rabbit ears on top. Yeah. But the thing is, if you bend over, all that stuff presses into your stomach. So I can understand why they don't do it. So once again, I want to give a shout out to Ophelia here who just tweeted out the Sean Ross Sapp's tweet about the draws for the tournament. So Punk and Kojima this Sunday. Samoa Joe and Roderick Strong, Dustin Rhodes, Powerhouse Hobbs, Juice Robinson, and Ricky Starks, all next Saturday on Collision from Hamilton. They're really trying to sell tickets to that show. And then next week we get Baker and Soho. Me and my big fat mouth from what I was saying earlier. We got Baker and Soho next Wednesday from Hamilton. Anna JAS and Sky Blue on Rampage. Oh, we get Athena and Billy Starks on Forbidden Door. That's going to be our women's match on the card, unfortunately. I know they were having visa issues getting people over from the States, or from Japan over here, but still. And then this Saturday coming up from this Saturday, like before the tournament, this Saturday we're getting Nyla Rose and Willow. Oh, and it's this Friday they're doing the women. Okay. So they're doing 3 matches this week and 1 next week. Yeah, Forbidden Door Eve. They're doing Nyla Rose and Willow Nightingale. The night before they're doing Anna JAS and Sky Blue. Which sort of makes sense why they introduced Anna JAS as one of the characters for Fight Forever, the video game. If you missed it earlier, they announced Anna JAS, Miro, and CM Punk as their 3 feature characters this week, part of the character release, as well as showing footage of the exploding barbed wire death match, which my exact quote was, I think it looks like a mini game, like a minefield mini game. So either way, it's going to be very interesting to see who it's going to be interesting to see who we get for semifinals, because I'm assuming we're going to get a men's and a women's semifinal on Dynamite because of the crowd that we're going to have here in Edmonton. The crazy part is Collision. They still only have maybe 1,200, 1,300 people for that show in Regina. And for those that are trying to say Regina, no, it's Regina. I'm glad the Americans are starting to have fun with that name too, just as much as we are. But yeah, we'll see what happens. Malachi also announced today. Okay, Malachi got the announcement as well. All right, I like this. We're starting to... Is Garcia trying to Rick Rude? His taunt now is a dance followed by a Rick Rude. He does the quick boxer pose with the hip shake. And then he goes to the Rick Rude pose. But yes, he's probably trying to Rick Rude himself. Because he's a sports entertainer. I'm going to have to get some more creative sound bites here for this soundboard. It's so nice watching Shibata and Sabre Jr. in the ring. It's just... You want to learn what wrestling's all about? And the technical aspects of wrestling? Like, this is how you do it. Now, everything has a purpose. Exactly. Like, you got to be thinking 4 or 5 steps ahead. Like, having Shibata as your peer champion, like, it's amazing that way. And the fact Shibata doesn't have to use any closed fists anytime soon. But Garcia does. All right, Cassidy and Garcia. This is a match we're probably... Oh, God. Here we go. Oh, my God. Let's just say Cassidy's hips lie, and they lie a lot. I think it's the best way to sum that up there. So as they're showing the graphic for the game, I will let you guys know we are going to be playing that next Thursday. Disco Fever, Disco Fever, Disco Fever, yeah, 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 yeah. And that's the amount of singing I will be doing tonight, because I am trying to save my voice a little bit, because I got a lot of speaking to do in the next 48 hours here. So we are going to be playing Fight Forever coming up next Thursday. I'm buying a physical copy, so we're not getting the extra day ahead. Oh, Sabre's just not having any of it. And we are going to be playing Road to the Elite with Owen Hart. Because that's going to me, that just, it seems right. Like, we've missed Owen Hart in a video game for a very long time. Since I think Legends of Wrestling 2 is the last time that Owen Hart was in a game. All right, well, Cassidy didn't need his neck. Nice suplex there by Garcia. I'm just thinking this right now. And we'll talk about it a little bit later as we get into that last match here, but the fact that Kris Statlander is as loved as she is in that backline. Oh my God, there goes the knees. So now he has no neck, and no knees. That is going to be ultra rough. Oh my God, look at this. This is like a version of the Garvin Stomp, but with submissions. Or if you're a youngin', that would be a Randy Orton Stomp. Like, Orange is supposed to defend this title. I would assume that he's going to defend the title on Sunday at Forbidden Door. Like, of all the titles that you would have in this, did I just call you old? Yes. Just because, you know, we're all ancient and we remember a lot of WCW stuff, so you can't say I'm wrong in many ways. Come on now. But because Garvin, hell, that would have been, Garvin would have been 91, 92, somewhere in that range. Oh, please. I'm probably older than everybody in this chat right now. Sabre Jr. has one of those physiques that looks like he is solid muscle without being jacked. Yeah, like, I'll be honest. I'm looking at this and I'm looking at Sabre Jr. and I remember him at the 2016 Cruiserweight Classic. And the biggest thing that was a knock on him was the fact that he didn't look big. And I'm sorry, I'm just going to call 44 Ophelia right now. So I'm not asking because that would be absolutely horrific, but that's where I'm at right now. So I value my life a little bit more than that. So simply put, I was alive before WrestleMania was invented. All right, fair enough. But yeah, Sabre Jr.'s biggest knock on him was the fact that he was literally that skinny. And the rigors of a WWE schedule, I don't think Sabre Jr., if he wouldn't have changed his body type, would have ever. I heard that Dr. Wario also invested in wrestling as well. He put the first 50 cents into the first card way back in the 1920s. But I just love how Sabre Jr. has transformed his body just enough to look absolutely devastating here. I love the... actually, that's a very good point that I just saw a tweet from Game Time Art here. And it makes a lot of sense. Here's one point for you. Not a single Canadian in the Owen Hart Cup tournament this year. Not a single Canadian. that they're going to have the final in Calgary and they're not going to have a single Canadian involved. Which also makes a little bit of sense with the fact that they're not going to allow the hometown, just have the hometown person just winning. And it's all taking place in Canada, exactly. It's also the blessing and the curse of AEW's philosophy that most of their fans are quote unquote smarter to the business, that they know good wrestling. If you're not going to have the old Dr. Warrior Vince McMahon Sr. split the 50 cent venture capital. I like that. And they wonder why tickets aren't selling? Tickets for Saskatchewan will not sell. I don't care if you're giving them away. People will not be there. I've said it before. I'll say it again. I'll say it for years. If people in Saskatchewan have an opportunity to leave Saskatchewan, they do so, even if it's for a weekend. They don't want an opportunity to stick around Saskatchewan. The only difference between Albertans and Saskatchewan is we get the privilege of not being there all the time. They just get the privilege of not being there some of the time. Oh, we got to hear from Kingston too tonight, so. You young whippersnappers, huh? Is Saskatoon the capital of Saskatchewan? Yes. I love that double kick. I think it's Saskatoon's the capital. It might actually be Regina. No, it's Regina. What am I thinking? Regina is the capital of Saskatchewan. My God, I don't even remember my capital cities anymore. This is horrible. But yeah, it is Regina, and it's still a very small city in particular, so. But yeah, it doesn't matter where you. Am I sure I'm Canadian? You know what? I'm from Alberta, so I almost feel like I'm in a different world, right? Saskatchewan has Brock Lesnar and Sabre. Yeah, like there are so many good stories you hear from farmers down that way that Lesnar's just a stand-up great guy. Like when somebody's tractor breaks down, they can't afford to fix it. He was picking up the bill. But of course, he wouldn't take any credit for it whatsoever because he's just not that kind of guy. Oh, here we go. That dragon spirit. Nice shot in the corner there. Oh no. And Orange just costed the victory. Oh my, here we go. This is where the bitter comes up. When someone's tractor breaks down, Lesnar just offers to plow the field with his bare hands. We're full of jokes tonight. Well, that's one way to get him the victory here, and this also could spark a bit of a feud, maybe. Could we have a four-way coming? Well, just put it out there. Why not? Let's just throw it out there before the story's done, you dumbasses. So it looks like we got a 4-way match. You dumbasses. I love how Excalibur's trying to cover this up. But once again, there's our production botch of the week. Seems like we get one every week with AEW. That is the most amount of effort I've seen out of Cassidy here in terms of non-wrestling in a very long time. There's too much going on for Excalibur to try and read all the matches coming up, yeah. I wish these people would understand. Everybody hates Toronto. Yeah, well, Toronto, you know what the funny part is? The rest of Canada is agreeing right now when it comes to dealing with Toronto. Jealousy, my ass, it's jealousy. Toronto thinks they are the center of the universe. That's the problem. Toronto thinks that they're another country. I could go on a rant about Toronto that could last us another 2 hours here. Like, seriously. Like, so let's just get the general landscape down for anybody that's not from around here and knows Canada that well. Basically, all things Toronto, the rest of Canada cannot stand. For the most part. Because there seems to be an entitlist mentality when it comes to Toronto. Maybe not so much the people, but just the overall view of the city compared to the rest. Because they got the only baseball team. They got an NFL team that's interested in being there a lot of times. Another country, you're thinking Quebec, but we are the center of the universe. See, there's another theory I could go on with Quebec around here. I have a friend who lives in Toronto that hates Toronto. Hey, totally makes sense. A lot of people hate where they live. A lot of people are moving out because they can't stand where they live right now. We all have a chance to recover. And anybody that hates Toronto and wants to leave there is looking for recovery, you know. Always give people a second chance. But saying, hey, I'm in Edmonton. I am more than happy being here. Granted, there isn't much keeping me here to be, well, except the friends that I do have, the true friends that I do have, and having you guys here also helps as well. And, you know, having a steady job, like, it's so funny. I watch people here, they're so upset about so many things that have happened to them. And I just look back at my life sometimes and I just look back and say, here's a funny part for you guys. During this whole pandemic that happened there, apparently gas stations are considered an essential service. So I actually ended up working more during the pandemic than I did post-pandemic. Like now that the pandemic's pretty much done, I've been having the opportunity to explore a little bit more, get into the Twitch streaming a little bit more. You can see that the number of times I've streamed has gone up quite a bit. So, you just got to take advantage of the opportunities that you have in front of you, and just sometimes in life you got to keep your expectations low. That's just something I've learned in life. I know that getting overly dramatic here. Lived in Illinois for 3 years. Sid goes to Chicago versus the rest of Illinois. Also lived in Georgia 3 years. It goes for Atlanta versus the rest. Yeah, it's a common thing. Lived in Illinois for 22 years of my life. Never go back. Yay. Galloping Ghost Arcade is my main reason why I want to get back to the Chicago area. Whoa! Okay. Looked into movie to Alberta, not completely off the table. Hey. All right, so we are going to get a New Japan versus AEW match at Forbidden Door, sort of. I love the fact, I know it's not going to go 20 minutes, but so Willow is fighting on Saturday and Sunday, yes. I love the fact that they set a 20-minute time limit and it is 23 minutes to time. So they're actually making you feel like they could actually go right to the time limit. We know they won't because, you know, they got to close the show on Eddie Kingston's announcement, right? And once again, I just want to reiterate, I think I know who I'm picking on this one. I love these kind of shirts. So if you guys ever see any comic book type shirts, I am all over them. Pick this up for the Memorial Weekend sale. I do like the story that... Who's my favorite current ring announcer? I like the fact that for the most part, I don't notice a lot of them. I would have to say... Probably... I don't know her name because I don't follow WWE as much as I used to anymore. Is this the first time they introduced Statlander for Beef? No, didn't she's come back? They've announced her from Long Island. Because she's changed. Yeah, there you go. That's the one. Samantha Irwin. That would be my favorite. Mrs. Bray Wyatt, I believe, is the term they use. Mainly for the fact that if you've ever listened to her have her certain reflections, and the most you hear it about was with Imperium. Like when you hear her talk for the introduction for Imperium, that sells me. The fact that she's able to change her voice and change her description to fit whoever she's covering there. Gosh, dang it. They're getting into a titty chop battle, I believe is what they call it these days. I'll be honest, I'm not watching the ring when the ring announcers are out there, but I'll never argue with that fact, so. I've always been a proponent that a ring announcer, like when I tried to do ring announcing, I actually didn't want to be in the ring. I wanted to actually do it from the table and just have it as a speaker. Just over the speakers. Because I did do some ring announcing for about a good year and a half. Ow! That ended up being a very tilty-whirly backbreaker. I think that was supposed to be a moonsault, but unfortunately Taya got in the way. Or didn't get in the way. You know what I mean. Did WCW have a ring announcer other than Michael Buffer doing the more... David Penzer. It was David Penzer, and then he moved on to TNA and Impact. So, and I do believe he's still doing it to this day. At least he's doing the higher profile one. Gary Capetta, there we go. Gary Capetta was the earlier one, I do believe. But I don't see anybody doing a bad job right now. I do have, like right now we have one local ring announcer that I feel personally doesn't do a great job because he's busy putting himself over, but I don't bring names up like that in this chat. So, I don't really pay attention a lot to the ring announcers. Only when I'm doing commentary, I'm too busy trying to think about what I'm going to say next. As I'm listening to... So are we still getting 2 call-out promos in 20 minutes? This ain't going to go much more than 5 minutes, isn't it? Unless they're going to do the whole Kingston... I bet you Danielson comes out, tries to call Okada. Okada comes out, Kingston comes out, makes his announcement, crowd pops, fade to black. It's a women's match. It's a side note. I get it, but at the same time, no, we're at the 5-minute mark already, and we're in a commercial break. I honestly don't feel that they're going to end this match, especially a title match, in a commercial break. They might run that last segment just real quick. But I'm still saying that I'm still happy that the women are getting the main event slot here. Regardless of what... It's almost like we could play a weekly segment this week of which segment went long. Which segment went longer than it should have. For me personally, it probably would have been the gun segment at post-match where Punk had to come out very late in that mix. I probably would have preferred that CMFTR, if they're going to work as a 6-person tag, they should have came out together. I don't care if you friggin' play the music all at the same time. I could care less. Have them all come out to Cult of Personality. Will they count Brian talking about Okada in the other segment as the call? No, they just put it on the bottom left that Danielson's calling out Okada here. At the that promo says he's going to come out to the ring and he's going to call him out and hope. And if he doesn't come out, he's going to prove what kind of coward he really is. I bet you Danielson comes out, calls out Okada. Kingston cuts him off, makes the announcement of who's coming in. I really wonder what kind of universe mode they have in Fight Forever. That's the thing I'd like to see. If there was some way we could make our own universe, sort of like the way we could do a WWE 2K20, or 2K23, I'd love to actually try that here, but I don't know if they have that. I know there's probably Create a Wrestler. I know there's certain things that you could buy and whatnot. But it makes sense because that game's supposed to be a little less simulation and more unrealistic, I guess the best way to put it. Jesus! What do we call that? The butterfly butt buster? Because you're landing right on your butt and spine there? That could be the real Triple B here in AEW, not that championship MJF's holding. Holy crap, that was a lariat. They're giving him time here. Could you imagine if they'd have Danielson come out, just interrupt things, just like who was that champion that did that once? Oh, vintage tire right there. Nice shots going through here, but so at least we got at least 2 more matches already announced with that 10-man tag and the Stone Cold take it over Raw, Macho Man take it over Nitro. I think it was the Macho Man one I was remembering. Damn. All right. Got a good 10 minutes. I would love to see them get more time. Don't get me wrong. Don't ever get me wrong about that. But personally, I just, yeah. And the fact she can do sign language is great. And now we're going to get the massive run through for everything that's going on Friday. Adam Cole, the Acclaimed, all the big hitters are coming out to Toronto early. Just 5 guys. Doki, okay. Jack Perry and Doki. Now they've gone from a 6-man to an 8-man. Oh, God. Is this a joke? I guarantee you Christian Cage comes out and says he written in the contract, if Luchasaurus won, I got the championship. Brody King and Andrade, that's going to be a fun match to watch. Now we're going through the Forbidden Door card, which it's growing. It's starting to get there. It makes you wonder what the main event's going to be here. Because once again, it doesn't feel like MJF, as much as he should be the main event, he's not. We're running into that situation again. Punk and Kojima this Sunday. That's going to be freaking fun. Just like Danielson Okada is going to be fun. So, yeah, like I said, I think we're going to get Danielson, and then I don't think Okada shows up. Whew. An interesting night on Dynamite, that's for sure, to say the least. We still got one more segment left here, but at least it's a promo segment. We don't have to worry about, what's the main event of Forbidden Door? I honestly think they'd be foolish not to make it Ospreay Omega. I really do. Tony Khan might be stubborn enough to put MJF Tanahashi as the main, but I don't see either heavyweight championship match being worth it. Omega Ospreay has too much build up to it, and it's got that Michaels Hart Survivor Series 97. Hopefully there's no screw job feeling to it. Like, you got one guy that's really hated and one guy that's really loved. And I'll say this, Kenny Omega is loved in Canada, but damn, you're right, though. If MJF can't automatically be your me, then why is he carrying the belt? There's two caveats I have to this. One, by the way, before I forget, you got a very good point here. Number one, this is the one card where you don't need your heavyweight championship to be the main event, because this is a crossover show. Because I don't think anybody in their right mind is expecting any of the challengers to beat the champions for a championship here, except maybe the international. And possibly the U.S. championship. Because, well, let's face it, Omega is not going over to New Japan anytime soon. He's not going to be in the G1. Omega's pretty much staying at AEW, so why not put that belt back on Ospreay, who's actually in New Japan? And the second thing is, you can have a transitional champion who holds the title for a few months and has a few defenses. You can't always have your top dog having the championship all the time, or people are going to get tired of it. We actually saw this quite a bit when, if you stopped by earlier today, we were playing WWE 2K23 GM mode, setting up for Mania coming up on Friday. Yes, I am getting my plugs in while I'm doing this. But we've had a few feuds that are actually on cooldown right now because people are getting tired of seeing them. You're going to get tired of your main event guys being your main event all the time. You always want to bring in new guys. You always want to grow new guys. Okay, Eddie's in there. Counterpoint Bloodline. I will counter with the fact that if they don't hurry up and fix this by SummerSlam, I guarantee this Bloodline... Here's my counterpoint to the counterpoint. What else do you have in WWE that's worth talking about compared to the Bloodline? Yeah, no, they're not even there. Don't even try that. They're fostering other storylines like... Ha! All right. Oh, and here comes John. Yeah, Moxley's just coming out by himself. He's not coming out with anybody else. Yeah, Zodiac, I'll just throw this out here. Name me a better storyline in WWE right now. And I say that's more on the WWE writers. It's because it's the only thing mildly entertaining. That's the only reason it's been over for 3 years like this. Moxley forgot the theme music, but he came in the other ways. That's why the music didn't go off. I love how they're cleaning up this storyline like this. Oh, I love this. I love this kind of storytelling. Oh my God, we got the Stone Pitbull as our 5th member. I love how the director's like, hurry the frick up here. Let's go. And Ishii's just in casual wear. Hold the block. Mr. No Neck? Absolutely. Oh, this is where we're going to end up getting... Danielson. Okay, here's where Okada comes in. And this is where we get the massive pop. And Ishii's just sitting there. Why not? Listen to this pop. Holy crap. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? We're going to get this on Sunday, guys. Like, for everything that's been going on, we're going to get a chance to see one of the biggest dream matches that there's ever been. Wheeler. You are the sacrificial lamb in this match. In this group right here. I see a reversal into a Rainmaker. Duck. Yep. And a miss. Can tell this is a rush close to a show. Yeah, like I said, I honestly feel that Guns Punk segment went long. Yuta's loving this right now. Bet you wish you could have been a vendor of the universe to see this dream match live, huh? Be in the venue, you mean? Yes. I know you're going to love being there. I love watching things on TV. Because especially, mainly because, well, one thing I will say, and that's just as we're getting the stare down to close out the show here. The reason I enjoy watching shows like this on TV is I don't know a lot of New Japan. I'll be the first to admit it. I have some great people that cover New Japan here in Andre and Melball. They do a fantastic job covering New Japan, covering Stardom. I don't get a chance to watch it as much. I'd love to. I just don't have the time for it. So getting to watch it on TV with the commentary, allowing yourself to understand the stories behind the show, I feel that it's a lot better for me as a fan to watch it that way versus watching it live. If I know exactly what's going on, then yeah, absolutely, I'd love to see it there. But I love that they literally had to cut it off mid-pose for Okada there to end the show here. But all in all, I have to say, this is a great way to set it up. We got 2 more matches announced. We're going to get some more coming up. Sting and Darby's partner taking on Jericho, Guevara, and Suzuki. We're going to find that out on Saturday during Collision. And it's going to be a hell of a fun time this weekend. Was this a good go-home show for Forbidden Door? Yeah, I think so. They got the Owen Hart Cup tournament names out there. They're starting to develop a little bit of momentum in terms of having very quality matches. And we had a Christopher Daniels signing. Who would have imagined we would have got that tonight?